wasn't. So I know some of those songs because my mom was a big music head. Whenever she would clean the house, she would put on like these 3 VHS tapes of just recordings of music videos.
Oh, that's what music videos were like.
Yeah.
The hit. Like,
yeah.
I remember it was crazy because I grew up in a Christian home, but you know, we weren't as Christian as others.
Isn't that the way it always is?
So I remember sneaking like to my aunt's house that lived in the same apartment complex so I can watch Yo MTV Raps because my mom wouldn't let me watch it. But my aunt had an older son who would watch it. So, like, I remember having to go to certain people's house to listen to certain music. Mm-hmm. Like, Yo MTV Raps. I remember waiting, like, for the premiere of certain music videos.
Yes.
Like, that was, like, the big thing. Like, oh, my God, you got to watch it tonight.
Well, some people try to still do that now. I don't think it works as well.
Yeah, because they're trying to make it a little mini movie,
you know?
But Michael Jackson's the first one that started that.
Yeah.
And then R. Kelly kind of brought it back, and you really can't top Kells. Like, you can't do the mini movie as a...
You a big Pied Piper fan?
Yeah, I am. That Trapped in the Closet.
Ooh! I love it.
And he keeps teasing, saying he's coming back to finish, and it's crazy. He wanted to make it was supposed to be a movie, or like, not a movie, but like a little TV show thing afterwards. But he's the genius.
That's what we'd use for the Daily Deal, that instrumental.
Oh my God. I think R. Kelly is a musical
Now I'm
genius.
dashing home.
You guys remember the whole thing?
Yeah.
KXVS or 92.1.
Yeah.
I had the first 5 on my phone.
I
remember when it came out.
I remember them, but after like the midget came out, I was kind of like,
I think I was a sophomore when they came out.
wow.
Remember how big they were? They all got released one at a time. You know.
Yes.
You remember the first?
What's gonna happen next?
The first CD you guys bought? First piece of music?
Nellyville was the first CD I ever bought.
Yep.
Yours too?
No.
Oh.
My first was Motown Philly. I am a die-hard Boyz II Men fan till this day.
What's your favorite song?
I have favorite albums. I would say
Your favorite song? Your favorite song on that album?
No, your favorite song. What's the first song that comes to your mind when you think of Boyz II Men?
Motown Philly. Yeah, but I like when I say I'm a fan, I was secretary of their fan club in high school in the Bay Area chapter. Yeah, I am a Boyz II Men fan. Now, if you want to do any trivia about Boyz II Men, like Boyz II Men is my group.
Did you go see them when they were in Vegas?
No, they have a residency though that just got extended at the Mirage for another 3 years. So I will be going. But
they don't have the deep voice guy anymore. Right?
No, Michael McCary is no longer with them. But I did get to see them. They were in Jackson last year for my birthday. Not 2016, but 2015. And I got to go VIP. I got a rose given to me. It was amazing. Let's not talk about Boyz II Men because this will be Miss J and the Boyz II Men show.
You know that they have flights that leave directly from Stockton.
They do, but I also have a child. So even though you just have to pay for a plane ticket, I have to pay for childcare.
Send him to Atlanta for a couple weeks. He can meet his brother. I'm sure he would love that.
I'm good right now. I'm not sending my child.
We're not doing it right now.
Oh, I would go this weekend if I could.
Just to give you guys an update of some stuff that is random to what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, because Alex loves that.
The confirmation vote is going on right now for Betsy DeVos.
Oh, DeVos.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
I just got the update on my iPad, so I'll keep you guys updated of what's going on. But the VP is on hand if there needs to be a tiebreaker of the vote.
Well, why don't you give the listeners a little background in case there's someone that was living
go ahead and
under
reset
a
this
rock.
for us.
So Betsy DeVos is going to be, she's being voted now to be head of the education department. But we all know that she shouldn't be. She hasn't
zero experience
in everything, and anything she's talked about with education, she's wanted to kind of cut everything public. So here we are trying to see if she's going to be voted in today. I wouldn't think there'd need to be a tiebreaker. I would think people would have the sense to not vote her in, but
then again,
we are in this world we live in, where Donald Trump is actually the president.
President is Donald Trump.
Yeah. So here we go. I just want to give that.
Well, I think the only way that it would go south is who else would do it? Not to say we don't have candidates, but who else is going for it?
Right.
Because we don't have anyone who's passionately saying, I want this job and I can do it better than her, then it's a landslide.
Well, it doesn't really matter because he has to be the person that nominates him.
I mean, that's true, but there still has to be a prospect in order to kind of push the reasoning. I mean, when you think about politics or anything, you can't just say, we're not going to do it because we don't like her.
Right.
You have to come up with a solution. And that's a lot of my problem with a lot of popular voting and that type of thing. Everyone wants to complain or make a suggestion of what we can change, but no tangible or effective solutions. So I can see.
What is the urgency of having someone in her position right now, right? So there's not anyone there now. Right,
well,
there would be no policy change if there's nobody there. She doesn't get voted in. We would just be waiting for someone to replace her. And I get what you're saying.
Here you go with logic, London.
I'm just saying
it's politics. If you try to mix logic into politics, yes, it's true. I mean, it's not like detrimental to America if no one gets in office right now.
It's not just the president.
Yeah,
there's no one.
Yeah, but historically speaking,
yeah,
there's going to be someone in that position, and if the people who oppose do not present an effective alternative or greater alternative, and no one that's passionate to say, yes, I will if you say she isn't, then it's a landslide. Who else is going to do it? Because our president is saying, this is who I want. So,
well, speaking of alternatives,
yes,
California has been referred to as alternative, progressive, forward-thinking. Sometimes I think that they put it on California too much.
Yeah.
As if there aren't, tons of Republicans that also live here.
Right.
If most people that say that, they probably haven't even been to California, so they probably still think it's surfboards.
Oh, those surfboarding weed smokers.
Right. It's funny, when I came back to California, I was so adamant about breaking that stereotype. When I came back, when I came back home to California, I was telling people, I'm in Northern California. There's more farmland than anything, out here. And I remember this specific conversation I had with a friend. I was just like, we're not all driving around in drop tops with palm trees and going on the beach. And it just happened to be in the summer. And I was taking a walk, having this conversation. And the friend was like, well, take a picture. And the picture I took, a person in a drop top drove by, and I'm standing under like the 3 palm trees on the south side. So I was like, just never mind. Yes, I'm from California. And I love it.
And it's awesome, okay?
But I'm so serious. It was like, it couldn't have gotten any better than that. Like, I just randomly snapped a picture, and I was standing on the corner of 10th and 8th and B Street, going to the little corner store that's now Orlando's. It used to be 8th and B and all that. And so there's like 4 palm trees right there. And just so happens this dude in a low ride drop top drives by. And I'm like, oh, great, thanks. And I could have been, the person to say, no, let's erase this and take another picture. But I didn't. I was like, you know what? I love Cali. I don't care what y'all think. I even though I lived in the South for 13 years, I do consider that my second home. I will always.
Your second home is not your first home.
Yes, not my first home.
Well, the reason why I brought up California and how we talked a little bit about how amazing California is and can be, and my mom likes to call it Planet California because it's unlike anywhere else that you're ever going to go, especially in the United States. But Donald Trump, I guess this is about Donald Trump a little more than I hoped it would be, but I guess it's what it is. Said that California is out of control, and they're trying to put secession on the next ballot that we're going to be voting on here in California. And I just want to know what you guys think about this, because it seems to be that radical topic that just won't go away. Like it keeps coming up. We kind of talked about it, right before the election, and then the election happened, and there was more talk about it. There are websites about it, and so to me, it's a bit of a scary thought to me.
Scary in what way? Like, what are your fears?
Right, because if you're seceding from the Union, right, you are declaring yourself an entirely different country.
Making yourself
right?
independent from
as far as I know, the only time that has even been thought of, or I'm sorry, maybe not thought of, but that action has been tried to been taken has only happened once in the United States history.
Right.
Oh, really?
And
Only
there was
once
a
before?
war, and it wasn't just one state.
Okay.
But it was the South.
There's
Yeah,
a key
alright.
component missing this time around.
There is. It's obviously a
Well,
very.
is it?
It's obviously a very
Is
different
there?
situation.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And in some
Some of
ways, the context is different.
Yes.
the jail system, I guess, would be the thing to bring that around. But yeah.
Yeah, the context is
It's a little bit
different. The situation is different. The players are different. And so, what do you guys think about this? Because in my mind, I guess I'll answer your question. Why do I think it's scary? You're becoming a whole separate country. You're gonna end up. I mean, I would say that you're separating yourself from all these resources. But do you think that this would make the California an enemy of the United States? An enemy of Donald Trump in Donald Trump's eyes, if this would have happened under Donald Trump's watch?
I think
in these 4
anybody
years?
that opposes him, anybody that has a different view, anybody that doesn't like his tie, is gonna be. He looks at them as a traitor.
Exactly. And so my question is, so let's say people who want to secede, want California to secede from the Union, right? California would be its own nation state. It has all the resources that it could need. You know, if they continue, we would be exporting a lot of our goods, probably still to the rest of the United States, because they would need it, and it would continue to, you know,
Well, I don't.
to help the California economy. So I think that it could happen in the sense that is it pragmatic in the sense that all of the resources and everything that we would need is already here.
Well,
you know,
the 6th largest economy in the world.
Yeah.
More economically powerful than France, and has a population larger than Poland.
yeah, and so like it could happen.
Those are some interesting points.
Yeah, but what are the politics of this? Which is what I'm thinking about. Like, yes, California is powerful in the sense that of all those things that you just said, we basically supply the world with a lot of its food, so the world needs us. But what does that politically do to California? And not just with other countries, but specifically with the country that we are still geographically attached to and would be leaving.
What about? Yeah, political and everything. I mean, it's security. At that point, who defends our borders? You know what I mean? I mean, that could be. We could be facing anyone at that point. So how serious is it? Have they really thought about that? I don't know.
Yeah, and that's my whole thing. See, I don't like to be the Debbie Downer, but I'm like, is this a setup? Because of those facts that you just gave us, right? Who's to say if it goes through and California is now independent, that would just be a mini little battle to take over us and then take everything.
Especially when he just said all the resources that California has. Now you're just putting them out on an island
right.
by themselves.
And all they're going to do is just take us over, and now we're all enslaved.
Yeah. So if he wants to go,
the island of slaves,
right.
California.
We're going to go get them. We're going to find out who voted which way.
And I want to see what the statistics are about, like when you mentioned the prison system. Like, do we have the most prisons? Because we could just be the state to where they just put all the prisoners. And now I'm sitting here thinking about like, what's the movie? Hunger Games.
Oh yeah. Huh.
And it's like we're part of a district.
We're gonna be District 13.
Yeah,
okay?
You know what I mean? Like, if we have to like fight for our rights to go to another state, I don't want any of that to happen.
So that's what that's what I think about.
Yeah, it's crazy.
When I think about the secession of California from the United States,
I think California just needs to calm down. I think everyone, the nation.
I don't think it would.
Here's Ms. J's thing. I believe we have bought into the hype that Donald Trump wanted us to buy into. We cannot take away that now he's President Trump is an amazing businessman. No matter how he does it, we're talking about morally. We can agree that most of America disagrees.
Okay.
Whether his money was borrowed from his father, whether he's filed bankruptcy 7 times, which is, or more than 3, less than 7.
Whether he actually loves his wife or not.
Whether he loves his wife or not. All that is about morals and the way we think he should do it. But the facts are, Donald Trump is an amazing businessman who is goal or results driven. When he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it, whether you like it or not. And we bought into that hype of making him who he is today. We all bought into, oh my God, and I think we just need to calm down, because I say this all the time. While we're focusing on Donald Trump, and even though, our job as media is to report the news and keep the people informed, we also need to encourage the balance. Now that we have this going on in our nation, what are you going to do personally? Like, let's personally find out how we can make the change, instead of they say this, they say that. Oh my God, this is going to happen. And I'm not talking about media. We have to report it. I'm just saying on a personal level, we have to kind of focus that energy into actually being the change. And I know that kind of sounds cliche-ish, but it's the truth. Like, I think we all just need to calm down. We got bought into the hype. We can't change it right now. He's our president. And we just, okay, how many people actually voted? Like, let's not even talk about just demographics as far as women versus men, blacks against any other culture. I mean, just the voting went down, period. Like,
so you feel this is more have to do with people's reaction to what they didn't do,
right?
And now you want to now you want to say something.
Now, calm
now you
down.
got something to say.
Calm down.
These leftist agitators. That's what the news is calling them, agitators. Yeah. Out there burning and breaking stuff, but they're agitators, right?
Yeah.
A few months ago, we saw some stuff happening. Mm-hmm. They weren't called agitators, called thugs.
Yeah.
So regardless of what you think about this government, remember how they still feel about you.
Yeah, true.
And that's why it's kind of funny about the protests that we see, because basically it's what you were saying. There's a lot of people who've been sitting around saying, look, the country is not what you think it is. Right. The government is not for you, fool. But it took a Donald Trump being in office and then bringing his buddies along with him for people to be like, oh, I don't think this country is in my best interest anymore.
Right.
I need to do something about it.
Exactly.
Well, we've been telling you that.
You've been an adult for at least 25 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, come on. Now, we're tapping into those pockets, taxes, and all that stuff is where it really matters.
So
because
I
we
agree.
have to understand America is the biggest business in the world. America is the biggest business in the world.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look how much money they make off of the inmates.
Yeah.
And all the
Look
different things that
money they make
make
off the work. That's why we have the working poor now. I mean, I'll go ahead and put it out there. I'm a county employee, and people will look, and most of the county employees, I know some people are going to get mad. They have this air about themselves. Oh, I work for county. You're just as broke. I know tons of workers that have second and third jobs. I was sitting there at Mimi's Cafe one time, and a girl that I was in training with is serving me. And I'm like, wait, what are you doing here? She has to have a second job, and she's a government employee. We work for the government. We serve the government and still can't afford to live. So the taxes that are taken out, people don't take into account. The more money you make, the more they take. It's that type of thing. So that's what the fight is about. Like, where are these funds going to go? How are they going to be allocated? Who's going to benefit from them? So all these emotions about what's right and what's wrong, yeah, that does affect or influence. But we got to be real. If you're not making money, they not tripping about you.
That's exactly what it,
if you're not voting, nobody's tripping about you. And most people that are protesting are the lower income and didn't vote. So it's like you're doing all of this and you honestly don't matter that much on the grand scheme of things. You can influence and we can do something, but if you don't own any properties, you don't have any, you're not in that tax bracket, the influence is not as big as we're trying to hype it to be.
I'm just going to win the lottery.
And they're gonna snatch those taxes.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna
pay off your debts.
I'm gonna take the rest of it, pay off my debts, and then I'm gonna move somewhere. I'm gonna buy an island somewhere.
Yeah, after the media gets to you.
No.
Oh, yeah. You win the lottery, you have to sign. It's going to be announced because they have to tell where that money went to. Those are taxpayer dollars that you're winning.
Well, that's fine. That's fine.
So.
And then I'm going to pay off my debts. And then I'm going to buy an island somewhere.
And you're going to move
And I'm going to move there.
So as
Alex, you ready to move?
Yeah.
Lyndon said he's...
I don't have no dog no more. I'm ready.
This just got heavy.
So as of 2012, there are 33 prisons in California, 30 for men, 3 for women. And at that time, it was about 120,000 inmates.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, California has the highest number of homeless people.
Wow. See? District 13. Man. It's a setup. I'm trying to tell y'all.
It's a setup.
Be careful, California.
I'm saying. I think even if it gets on the ballot, I don't think it'll pass.
So are you guys going to sign the petition?
I haven't seen any petition.
I don't discuss.
Oh, it's online, huh? So you don't discuss politics?
I don't discuss politics on the air.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is going to be Ms. J's last show.
Yeah. So
we loved her having here.
Oh my gosh.
If you're not willing to talk politics, you can't be here.
Well,
Ms. J.
I'm not going anywhere.
Speaking of politics, one part of politics that Alex and I feel is really important is education.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And it's one of the best ways to make the country better through education and getting the facts out there and making sure that people are well versed in not only in their ways of life but different ways of life. And the city of San Francisco, California, has taken a huge step in the direction of making higher education available to everyone, really. And that's huge.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say this is because San Francisco just recently announced, as of, I think I saw something about it last night for the first time. I think they announced it yesterday, that they will be tuition free.
Oh, that sounds so good.
For the community college that is in San Francisco. So
Say that again.
City College of San Francisco will be tuition free
for San Francisco residents.
For San Francisco. So yeah, if you're a resident of San Francisco, it's going to be free. And you might think in your head, oh well, it's just San Francisco. You have to live in San Francisco to get this. One, there are loopholes. And if you know, I'm not going to tell you what they are. I'll let you figure that out on your own.
There are stipulations.
But
criteria.
It's also unprecedented.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Free higher education, especially in a world.
Oh, see, now it gets even deeper. California offering free education. Oh my God.
They're out of control. Stop them.
We are out of control, California. Man.
They're trying to get more numbers. Then they'll release all the inmates.
Yeah.
And there you go.
And then we're going to go crazy.
Oh, my God. Yeah. We were just talking about Prop 47 passing, bringing down those felons to misdemeanors. California, you are horrible.
And now they're going to be...
now they can vote.
Now they're going to get vote. Then they're going to get educated.
Oh, my God. This is crazy.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
You guys, you're laughing, but that's...
It's true.
It's true.
I mean, when I was reading it, they were one of their points is saying that our electoral college vote hasn't really affected us or helped us since the late 1800s.
Wow.
So, yeah, there might be some truth to what we're saying.
And so, but especially in a world
you heard
where...
it first here, people. KXVS radio.
Higher education is so important to upward mobility.
Yes, sir.
Where you can go in life. And, if you want to do anything at all, you need a bachelor's degree.
Yeah, it used to be high school diploma. Yeah. Then it was an AA. Now it's a BA.
And soon it might be a master's.
Yeah, it's looking like it's leaning towards that. I know some of the top companies, that's what they're looking at, master degrees.
There's too many people. Stop having kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
One child rule.
Yeah, I said it. Stop having kids.
So now we want to be China.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's too many people. I mean,
I don't
know that how you solve that problem.
You don't build a wall.
I'm not saying, hey, we should go out and kill tons of people, but
well, that's the fight too
in a
with
very
women.
real
Now we're getting into the women's rights and the whole fight that we have with Planned Parenthood. And now, it all affects each other. And it goes back to what I said about taxpayers, property owners and holders. And those are the movers and shakers that are making the decision. That's where the money is. And, we're having too many kids, but then you want nobody to stop that from happening the way that they need to.
Yeah.
It's like you can't win for losing, you can't lose for winning. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like,
I mean, you could tell. I could say, hey, don't have kids, but how do I enforce that without impeding your rights?
How do they enforce it in China?
They forced abortions. I don't want to say it like that, but they kill the baby. Okay. That's how it's enforced. I mean, there is an understanding of the law, and it's basically you breaking the law if you were past.
What if you have the kid? What if something happens and you
don't get caught?
Don't get caught, because there have been children that, I mean, depending on how old. I mean, you have to go somewhere to have the baby. Like, people are gonna see you pregnant. Like, you can't hide being 9 months pregnant.
Is this your 4th child?
So yeah, there's actually, you know what? I'm gonna find it and I'll show you privately. But there's actually a video of a man that has actually, like, he's like this the Robin Hood of China, that goes out and he actually showed fetuses and remains of babies that have been murdered as young as a year old.
So babies who were born.
Babies who are born.
So we're not doing that. Yeah. We're not going to do that.
It's serious in China. There's women who have actually been murdered themselves for doing it. Even the stipulation in the law in China, and people can research as well. There was a story of a woman who ended up divorcing her husband. And after the divorce, she found out she was pregnant and could not keep her baby because she was no longer married, and it broke the law. Cause
you can't have a baby if you're not married?
Well, no, it was they had a child together, and then issues happened, got divorced, found out she was pregnant after the divorce was final, and she had to get rid of that baby.
Well, wouldn't she have... I don't get how that connects. Wouldn't you have had to get rid of the baby anyway?
Well, I'm just saying, period. Like, you're going through a divorce, now you have to get rid of your baby.
Like, it's... emotional, awful.
Like, it's other stuff that's like, it's just crazy.
Sterilization, abortion, and fines.
Yeah.
Those are the ways.
Yep.
So, yeah, can't do that.
California's not going to have that.
No.
America's not going to have that.
No. So there's, there's no way to really do it without... Please, people, think about the kids you're having. I mean, that's all you can do.
Yeah,
it's all you can do.
That's all you can do, and offer the services to help.
Yeah.
So here's my whole thing. This is not the say of KXVS Radio. This is Ms. J's personal opinion. This is not the views of Rise and Shine 209 Morning Show or any of my co-hosts. This is my personal view. I would tell people all the time about the whole Planned Parenthood thing. My problem is Planned Parenthood is not an abortion hospital. Planned Parenthood offers women's health services. Yeah. So people ignore that fact. Yes, there are other options that they offer, but they are the health alternative for women who are unemployed, underemployed, low income, etc. Mm-hmm. So even during the times when I first moved back to California, I was on Medi-Cal. Over on the other parts of the United States, it's called Medicaid, but it's low-income medical coverage or medical insurance. The hospitals are so backed up. Public clinics have such a long waiting list to where I couldn't get the services that I need, just basic services that we need to maintain our health that women have to endure, unless there was a Planned Parenthood that offered it. And I remember here in Stockton walking up to Planned Parenthood, and there were a group of women stopping me, giving me I'm like, I'm not here to get an abortion. Don't assume because I'm walking in here that I'm pregnant and trying to get rid of my child. And I actually stood there and had that conversation. I said, I am here to get this service because I can't go to Kaiser. I can't afford to pay the copay here. And these are the people that offer it and offered me an opportunity to get it when I need it.
Mike Pence made that vote.
Yeah,
you got it. Just so you know.
Say that.
I just
again.
got the
So it did,
notification.
yeah. I did
Oh,
too.
it just did.
came
The
down.
update.
Came down to his
So
vote.
urgent news. Go ahead. Breaking news, not urgent. Breaking news, Alex.
Oh, do you have it on your phone?
Mike
breaking news
Pence
is Mike Pence
made the historic
he had
tie-breaking vote,
tie-breaking vote for
as the Senate
Betsy
confirms DeVos as the education secretary.
DeVos got it. I think that's why she was cocky. She knew.
Yeah.
There's no shock there. See, you hear that silence? Nobody's like, there's no shock.
Oh my God!
No.
It would have been more shocking if she didn't.
God
get it.
bless America.
I have to agree. It would be.
And
more
I
shocking
will
if she
say
did.
that, you know what? I am still proud to be an American, and I would not want to live in any other country.
I agree.
Because everybody complains about it. I don't see a lot of people moving. I know a few people who lives in the UK
If
now.
you
Have
had the
family
means,
members.
if you had the means,
Oh, you can. It's
Would you
not.
move?
It's not. No,
no,
I would not if I had the means, and it's not that expensive to move. It is not that expensive. I have family members that live in the UK now.
I'm going to New Zealand.
It just seems like it would be.
Nope. That's what they want you. That's what they want you to think. Nope. It's not that expensive. The amount of money it would cost for you to move from one state to another is almost about the same it would cost you to move out of the country. Now, the process of, denouncing your citizenship and that type of thing.
From this day forward, I am no longer the king of Zamunda.
There is a process. I actually have a cousin who lives in the UK, and she went over there first for a work visa. I'm very proud of her. Shouts out to her. She's trilingual. She first lived in Spain, and now she lives near Paris, France. She's living out there with her child and lovely, and she decided, she met a man and they wanted to get married. Dun dun dun. She doesn't have her birth certificate, even though she has everything else, and she was born here in Fresno. So now they have to wait to get it mailed. She's calling family members, and I'm like, I'm not driving to Fresno.
You have to have your birth certificate to get married.
Oh yeah, you gotta have all that
Why?
stuff, especially if you're in a different country.
Oh,
Yeah, so there are some things
guys
that
have
you
your
do have to
passport?
consider. Yeah, passport is not enough. You need your birth certificate
why?
To prove where you were born.
And there's also some states now that you can't travel state to state with just the
California ID?
Yeah,
Or the
or
ID?
their
Yeah.
ID of that state, because it's so easy to copy.
Yep. So yeah, there are some things that you have to consider. But hey, well, DeVos is in. Education is out. I'm joking. I'm joking. Except for San Francisco. Everybody moved to San Francisco, and you
Everybody
can
move
go
to California right now before we split off.
Let's do it.
Get more, free people as we can. Also tonight, if you are interested in some more politics, there's be a debate on CNN. CNN will be showing it'll be Bernie Sanders and Ted Cruz arguing about the future of Obamacare. So it'll be on at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight.
See, here we go again.
Tidbits.
Yeah, we talk
If you
want to
watch
tomorrow.
it's there.
I don't know.
How do you feel about Bernie Sanders?
I say, let's burn, baby, burn.
Oh, you? Yeah.
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 Yep. I love his straight in your face, no nonsense type of attitude.
Hey, man.
I think the only thing that was
He
fighting
called-
against Bernie was he's just old. He's an old guy. Poor Bernie. But now Bernie's like, yeah.
He's a socialist.
Yeah, he is. Actually, he was cool.
That's what I was going to vote for. Until he got cheated by Hillary Clinton.
Could have still wrote his name in.
But
Yep.
that's neither here nor
That's why I
there.
tell people all the time. Don't feel forced.
I mean, I voted for who I wanted to vote for, so it was
Yeah.
okay.
Me too.
I did too. Oh,
So it was
Oh my
okay.
God.
Now it's you. Usually it's Nikki. You're sitting there.
Nikki.
Next to you, music starts playing.
uh-oh.
Music starts playing.
I was pushing buttons. I'm sorry.
We're gonna cut to a break. Come back. If you haven't seen the Tuesday Riddle yet, there is definitely a Tuesday Riddle. I think Miss J's been over there looking at it, and she doesn't know the answer.
I don't.
You been looking at it? Yeah. Did you get a chance to look at it, Alex?
I didn't even know it was up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Put it
it's
up.
been
Put it
up.
on the
It's
screen
been
on the
up.
break.
It's been scrolling.
The Tuesday Riddle is, for those of you who are listening out there, if you want to drop the answer on the Facebook page, if you think you have the answer on Miss J's live stream, it is: what is black when you buy it, red when you use it, and gray when you throw it away? What is black when you buy it, red when you use it, and gray when you throw it away? And that is the Tuesday riddle for this Tuesday. If you think you have the answer, drop on the Facebook page the answer or an answer that you think it might be. Don't be that lame person who looks it up. Just, you'll know.
Yeah.
It's all about integrity, okay? It's all about integrity.
Yes.
We're going to be right back here on the Rise and Shine 209 Morning Show. This is KXVS, the voice of Stockton.
Here at KXVS,